already like 3:30 in the afternoon. Started off this morning, did pretty good. I went to the gym and was doing chest. Had to cut it short though. Had some personal stuff come up. Had to go take care of. Flat bench on the machine, and then I think I did 4 sets on that. I did 4 sets of the pec deck. So I did that. Went and ate with my father-in-law for Father's Day. What I ate was I hadn't ate up to this point. I did the fast, probably about 2:30 when I ate. I had a Philly cheesesteak on hoagie bread with sweet potato waffle fries. It was pretty dang good, you know. That's the fun thing about it, you know. That's a little more carbs than I'm usually up for, but the good sign here is I had those carbs. I feel great. That means the body's changing here. The diet's working. The sugars are coming down. My body insulin resistance is getting better. It's starting to make more insulin. It's starting to release the insulin that my body has without me having to do with medications and whatnot. So I'm getting where I can eat these carbs and still be okay. That being said, you're not going to see me overdo it. I'm still going to pretty much stick to what I'm sticking to. You know, last couple of days were kind of special occasions, and I would argue yesterday I was still way below. And even today, like I said, that's all I've had today, and I don't know, I might not eat again. If I do, it's probably something pretty light. One thing I really got to work on is the step. Step count's only like 3,600 right now. We're gonna fix it though. It'll be up by night. Don't worry. I gotta make up some stuff. So I have some personal stuff going on, so I have to take care of that. So it's been a slower day, but we're still gonna get done what we need to get done. But yeah. And like I said, this is Sunday. We got out daily vlogs this week, I believe. Check back in with y'all later. What's up, guys? Checking back in on this Sunday evening. It's around 8 o'clock, something like that. 8 something. Update as far as steps go. I'm over 15,000. Probably finished a little bit more. Closer to 16,000 today. Other than that, not really much else has happened. I've made supper. Not really that hungry, so I went with 1 hamburger steak and then 3 eggs. Probably a little sauce on that. Yeah, man, you know, this is a pretty good day. Just a mental day, you know. Sometimes you just have those mental exhausting days, and I'll be honest, it's been a mentally exhausting year. You know, just that's what happens when change comes and everything. You know, you just gotta go through it sometimes and figure it out. Change don't always have to be bad. It's what you make it. Some people, they think I'm gonna change stuff for the better, or you find something, it's like, man, it's gonna suck because it's not what you're used to. But you adapt, you adjust, and you make it good. I'm a firm believer life is most of what you make it. You know, you can throw a pity party on yourself and always be the guy that complains about everything, or you can try to take a bad situation and turn it for what you want it to be. You know, that's it goes right back to the physical stuff. You know, you can sit here and say, you know, I've been big my whole life, or I've been healthy my whole life. You know, it is what it is. You know, doctors say, yeah, I probably like that my whole life. I've had a doctor tell me I'll probably not be able to get my stuff down, my sugars, my cholesterol, and all that without being medicated, and I'm slowly starting to do it. Doctors, they don't want you to get better. They make money because people come in and see them. I'm a firm believer most doctors don't want you to get better too. So, but that's just my little take on that. But like I said, when you have those mental days, just find a way to still get after it and control what you can control and do what you can do about the situation. If you can't do nothing about it, let it go. Pray about it and just do what you can do. That's really all I got for this Sunday. Like I said, first week down. Pretty good week. You know, and I say first week down, but we've been after it for a while for the most part. You know, at least I have. It's probably been about April since I've been, I'd say, locked in. But the series, you know, it's been going for a week. It's just a good double down to keep you motivated, keep us consistent and accountable. So it was a great first week. The second week of a lifestyle. You know, this is forever. This ain't a series. Even though y'all get to see a series out of it, this ain't what this is. It's a change, and I'm real happy about it. I'm glad. Feels good. You know, I feel good. It just feels good in general. But I'll quit rambling and whatnot. Catch y'all later.
All right. I know this is a vertical video, and that is the one thing, the number one rule I told Hunter and Keaton not to do. Do not give me vertical videos. Guess what? The editor is doing it himself. I don't care, I can do whatever I want, but I wanted to come on here and kind of document what's been going on. You know what I mean? I feel like this car talk would be the best way to do that. Hunter, he got himself a little car talk going in the Friday, Saturday video, and I thought it went really well. I thought it was very honest. So what I wanted to talk about today was, I just got done doing chest. This is my first video of the week. It is Wednesday right now. I just got done hitting chest and doing some cardio, 30 minutes on the treadmill. And I gotta be honest, that was not an easy workout at all, whatsoever. That was very challenging. That was the toughest workout that I've had thus far. Yeah, just pull that right in front of me. Perfect. But yeah, I had a terrible workout today, chest wise. I don't like hitting chest, but that's not really the reason behind it. I wanted to say that, you know, this is about week 3 or 4 into the cut, if you will, for me, of dieting down in that phase. And typically when you do that, when you get deeper and deeper into the calorie deficit, your energy levels take a toll. And that's exactly, I think, what happened to me today. I think my energy levels were really suffering. And that could be for a multitude of different reasons. You know, that could be I didn't hydrate well enough, or that could be I didn't eat enough today when it comes to like carbs or just calories in general. It could be, whoops, took that turn a little too sharp there. It could be that I didn't eat enough yesterday. I mean, it could be a variety of different things. Sleep could play a factor into that. I think it was just purely because the food is lower over a longer period of time. My body is a little bit depleted of what it normally would need or should get. And I think it's starting to catch up to me. But I say that to say this. I do not think, if I had to predict, I don't think it'll be that way tomorrow. I don't think this is a sign of things to come. I think I'm going to have a good workout tomorrow. That's just what I think. But anyway, like I said, bad workout today. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was not easy. But if you guys are in the same boat as me, if you have a bad workout, don't let it discourage you. I just think you have to remind yourself that, you know, your body's going through these changes, but you have to push it to make that change. You have to give your body a reason to change form or to change, you know, however you want to look at it. Losing weight is, you know, your body doesn't really want to lose weight, but you're going to have to force it to do so with that calorie deficit. That's what it is. Calories are energy. When you're in a calorie deficit, you are subtracting that energy source from what you actually need. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's a good thing. I'm experiencing new things that I've not experienced before. That's the only way to change. I have not felt like this for a workout in a long time. That's because I've not been depleted of energy in a long time. So what is the point of this whole conversation, Tyler? Well, I'm glad you asked. I just want you guys to understand that if you have a bad workout, know that that's just part of the process. Know that it's okay to have bad days, but also, even though you have a bad day, you can still do exactly what you need to do. A funny story, Hunter, his first video he ever sent me, first 2 videos he ever sent me, he was so excited about it. He had prepped the eggs and the what did he have, that deer steak or something like that. He prepped those. That was day 1. He prepped them in the kitchen. He cooked them up. And I reckon I've never watched the video because it was vertical, so I didn't even bother trying. I reckon he like went through his cooking process and went through everything, and like everything was great. He was so proud of it. And I told him, I said, Hunter, so this is good. This is good stuff. I said, there's one problem. I said, you broke the cardinal sin rule. I said, don't make it vertical. But he did anyway, and he just flat forgot. No big deal. So he filmed another one horizontal, and that's the one you guys saw in day 1. That was the same day. So that was just a fun fact. But now here I am doing the bad thing. But anyway, on that note, oh come on, gosh, it was hard to drive and manage this phone at the same time. It's probably illegal. Yeah. With that being said, let's wrap this up. Golly, Tyler. With that being said, guys, stay locked in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. So, today's Thursday of week 2 of the lock-in, and we got a little walk and talk for you guys. I've not done this week, and I've been meaning to do at least once of these per week. I just got hit with a bug. At least once of these per week because I like them.
We talk a lot about in this channel and in this series so far about the losing weight process and how to lose weight if you're having trouble doing that. And I think we've hit on some pretty good topics thus far. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to document our journey. But what about the guys that can't gain weight? What about the guys that are having trouble gaining weight and putting on size? I personally have never been in that situation. So I don't know how I would do with that. I've always been a bigger guy. It's been easy for me to gain weight. I've always had a huge appetite. So weight gain and how to maintain or how to achieve weight gain, I guess first and foremost, you need to kind of lay out your goals, right? You need to figure out what are your short-term goals, what are your long-term goals, and what time frame do you want to get that done. Once you know that, then I think the first thing that I would tell, the hard gainers, as I'm going to call you guys, track your calories. Track your calories, just try it. I personally don't track my calories, but people with that problem, I hear a lot of people say, I eat a ton. I eat so much. You don't understand. I eat 3,500 calories a day, man. I just can't gain weight. It's just how I am. Maybe so. And I believe you. I do believe you. I believe you that 2 out of the 7 days in a week that maybe you are hitting that 3,500 calorie mark. The other 5 days, however, probably not getting anywhere near 2,500, 2,000 calories. Some of you guys are just in a bad situation where your jobs are a little bit more demanding physically than others. I mean, I know a guy who struggles to gain weight, but then again, he works a job where he gets easily 20,000 steps a day, probably more upwards around, or 25,000 to 30,000. I mean, it's nuts. So that's a difficult thing. But at the end of the day, at the foundation of wanting to change your body physically, whether it be gaining weight or losing weight, diet is number one. And it always will be. It's just the science behind it. It is calories in versus calories out. If you want to gain weight, you have to eat more than you are burning. That makes it tough. I'm not going to say limit your activity if you're trying to gain weight. I probably wouldn't be running a marathon every week. I do think you need to still keep your activity moderately high. You don't want to put on bad weight. It's just good for your cardiovascular system to be active. But, you just have to understand that, burn more calories today, I'm going to have to eat more. And, that's a struggle for some of you guys, for some of the hard gainers. And I get it. Eating's just not your thing. You're not a big eater. It's really all, sometimes it's genetic. I understand there's really not a lot you can do about that. But what you can control is the amount of calories you take in, whether it be through whatever source it may be from. People think that to gain weight, you have to eat 400 grams of protein, and I have to slam these protein shakes all day, man. That way I can gain weight. That's really not the best way to do it. I think throwing in a shake here and there as a supplement to do that is fine. But if you're gonna do that, make that thing extra tasty. Put 3 scoops of peanut butter in that thing. Put some chocolate chips in there. I mean, you want to be as healthy as you can, but at the end of the day, in your guys' situation, you've tried all your life to gain weight and it hasn't happened. You have to kind of go to the extremes sometimes to actually get, make that progress. Keep your diet as clean as you can, but at the end of the day, if you have the cleanest diet in the world, but you're still eating 2,000 calories a day, while your maintenance, maybe your metabolism's faster, maybe your maintenance calories is like 2,800 to 3,000 a day, even though you're a smaller guy. Do whatever it takes, eat more. It's just, you got to eat more, man. And that's all there is to it. So, but again, like I said, you don't have to slam protein all the time. Unless you're working out like crazy, protein's not really super duper important macronutrient. Carbs is going to be your friend, to be honest with you, if you're trying to gain weight. Now, if you want to get in the gym and do it the right way, I would encourage to get a decent amount of protein in per day. Everybody says 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I don't even think you need that. I really think it's like 3/4 gram per pound of body weight. I get around 150 grams a day probably. I'm weighing in at about 190 right now. So I think you can kind of give or take on the protein. I think protein's slightly overrated. I see some people eating like 350 grams of protein a day. Unless you're 300 pounds and you're on a bodybuilding prep, trying to prep for a show, there's no reason for you to do that. So for us normal people, just everything in, eat in moderation. If you're a hard gainer trying to get into the gym for the first time, the gym's just not really your atmosphere. I get it. The gym for beginners can be intimidating. It can be kind of dreadful. I would just say, man, just get in there, do what you can. If you want to start at home with nobody around you and do some push-ups, do some crunches, air squats, things like that, that's totally fine. And build your way up there. That way you can get a decent amount of strength before you go into the gym. I would recommend that, actually. Yeah, 100%. And then once you get in the gym, just try to get acclimated with all the machines. Don't worry about maxing out all the time. Try not to let your strength progress get in the way of the gains that you can actually make. Find the exercises that you like and try to progress at those. You need to progressively, there's a thing called progressive overload in the gym. It's basically exactly what it sounds like. You start out with a weight, you do that for a week. The next week you increase that weight, or you increase the reps, or you increase the intensity in which you're doing it, or whatever. You increase something every week to progressively overload, to progressively progress. If you're gonna gain weight, gain muscle, gain size, but I get it. I mean, I don't get it, but I do. I do suggest short-term goals, long-term goals. I suggest tracking your calories. I suggest getting in the gym, no matter how dreadful it may be. Find something that you like in there and get really strong at that. And then go, progressively overload. But yeah, those are the big pointers. And, eating wise, find out, number one, are you a big breakfast eater guy? Are you a breakfast guy? I'm not. Me and Keaton usually fast through breakfast. We hardly ever eat breakfast. But if you're a breakfast guy, you got to have that energy in the morning. I get it. That's fine. Keep that fairly healthy. But also, if you need to have your eggs or even bacon or sausage, that's fine. Eggs. Not everybody has to eat eggs every day. You can do that. If you find some protein waffles that you like, have at it. You know what I mean? If you want to do eggs, bacon, and then like some Eggo waffles on the side, have at it, man. Get your calories in however you can. That'd be a good breakfast. But if you fast through breakfast and you're like me and you don't really want to eat, try to eat a big lunch. Try to eat a big lunch and a big supper. And on top of that, maybe then have a protein shake at night or something like that, where you throw in all the other extra calories in that one night. And it's not going to be easy because you're not used to eating that much. And I don't know, you may even feel sick at times. I'm not sure. I've not dealt with that before, but just trial and error. Everything's trial and error, guys. Do what works best for you. But all I can do is give you guys the knowledge of, if you eat more calories than you are burning, you will gain weight, and vice versa. I can give you the knowledge of tracking your calories, because I guarantee you're not eating as many calories as you think you are. And get in the gym, find what you like to do, and crush it. That's going to wrap it up for the week's walk and talk. Stay locked in. I also want to kind of go back and talk about the calorie tracking thing. You can track your calories through an app. There's MyFitnessPal is pretty popular. I think Hunter uses the Cal AI app. That's another good one. There's all kind of apps like that are like health and fitness. You can track your calories. It's the easiest way to do it. You just pretty much type in exactly what you ate, and you have to be 100% honest. That's the only way this is going to work. Be 100% honest in what you ate. And track your calories that way. And another question you may have is, how do I know how many calories I'm supposed to eat in a day? Well, you can kind of estimate that. Or what would probably be best is you can go online and type in TDEE calculator. There's usually, those type of calculators, they take your height, your weight. They have body fat percentage on there as optional, but I mean, I doubt everybody knows their body fat percentage. I have no idea what mine is. So if you know yours, type that in. It's going to help the search. But if you don't know it, don't worry about it. I think it's also age is a factor. So I put all that stuff in, and it'll automatically give you a baseline of the calories that you're going to need if you were to bulk. I would take your maintenance calories. I would look at that first, and I would probably add at least 300, maybe upwards around 600 or 700 calories to that maintenance calories, and do that every day. Because if you're having trouble gaining weight, then that means in the past you've tried things and they haven't worked. So you have to kind of push the needle a little bit, push the envelope, so to speak. So yeah, find your maintenance calories from a TDEE calculator. Add about 500 calories to that. Eat that every day. The only way to know that you're eating that is to track the calories through an app, MyFitnessPal, CalAI, etc. And just do that every day, man. Do that every single day. And on the flip side, if you're trying to lose weight, same thing. Find your maintenance calories on the TDEE calculator. Lower that by 300 to 500 and do that. Eat that every day on top of your cardio, on top of your steps, walking, all the above. So it's just, the idea is really, it is pretty simple, but it's very difficult to actually achieve. Hopefully what we're doing is motivating you guys, whether your journey is to lose weight, gain weight, get healthier overall for your health, for yourself. But I will say, do it for yourself. Don't do it for performative reasons. Don't do it for anybody else. You know, one of my goals is getting a 6-pack, and that is true. But the reason I'm wanting to do this is because I want to prove to myself that I can provide the discipline enough in my life to achieve that. And I feel like if I can prove to myself that I can do that, which is something that's very hard, if I can do that, that's gonna apply to all aspects of my life, and it's gonna be everything. Every other obstacle in my life is gonna make it more achievable in the long run, if that makes any sense. So discipline is something that applies to all aspects of life, not just health wise, but this for us is a good way to start. And you know, your body is a temple. You only get one body. Treat it with respect. All right, I'm out of here. All right, got an arm day coming up here pretty quick. Me and Keith are gonna go to the gym together. We're gonna try to get some good clips for you guys. So we need to cue some music up. So what music should we do? Let's go with the Buckeye Brownies intro music for that video, the rock music. You know what I'm talking about? So cue that music up in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is gonna be the finisher for triceps. I'm gonna do no attachment. I'm just gonna straight up, one arm, just pumping it basically. I'm gonna go 5 on one arm and then 5 on the other. It's the old Sam Sulek classic. So let's finish off these triceps. I don't know if I can be able to handle this or not. This is Saturday of week 2. This is the end of the week. I'll be honest, the biggest thing that I can take from this week is the energy levels are still down. I made a video earlier this week on Wednesday after a chest day. My energy levels that were down in the gym significantly. Today I've noticed it too as well. I hit shoulders today and it just wasn't a good workout. Like, I was ready to be done with that fast, but the good thing is I'm still doing good on my diet. I haven't recorded as many meals this week as I did, you know, when we were doing the daily check-ins, but I will say
Thursday through Saturday, I had steak 4 times. Yeah. Thursday night, steak and sweet potatoes. Friday for lunch, steak and eggs. Friday for supper, steak and sweet potatoes. Saturday for lunch, steak and eggs. And I loved every minute of it, and I don't regret a bit. I don't regret it one bit. The thing about steak, people think it's like unhealthy. I don't think steak is unhealthy. I think you have to eat it in moderation because of the high fats. You can eat more steak than you think you can. I mean, it's high in protein. It is high in those fats, but it's somewhat healthy fats. You know what I mean? It's not, these fats aren't gonna hurt you. Kind of like eggs. The ribeye, I had a ribeye. Now, the cut of meat for steak does matter, I feel like. I had a ribeye Thursday night, about probably 10 ounces of that bad boy. It was delicious. That was one of the best steaks I've had all year long. Shout out to Dad for grilling those steaks, man. He put on an absolute clinic 2 nights in a row. I'm still within my calories, right? Like, it's not a big, huge deal. But now I've got some strawberries in a bowl. That's gonna be kind of my, nighttime snack. No rice cakes tonight. I woke up this morning and had a craving for waffles. And not that I'm having super bad crazy cravings or anything like that, but I just wanted some waffles. And so we have these Kodiak cake waffles that are like 12 grams of protein for 2. I went ahead and toasted a couple of those up. I think they're like 250 calories. So it's really not that bad at all. Put some peanut butter on there, mixed it with a protein shake, and I was good to go. Pretty good little breakfast. I usually don't eat breakfast, but I've ate breakfast a couple times on this cut here, on this lock-in. So that's kind of something that's new. I just woke up and I've just been hungry. But I did do an hour of cardio today. That was a lot. It wasn't hard at all. It was, my cardiovascular system it's great. Like, I can do, 3 speed and 12 incline and stay within 130 to 140 beats per minute, heartbeats per minute as far as heart rates go. And it'd be just fine. I sweat a lot. I will say that I sweat a lot doing cardio, but that's kind of the point. I'm setting the foundation and making the changes health-wise that I think are going to last a lifetime, because I've learned so much about myself and my cravings and diet. I've learned so much these past like 3 or 4 weeks. Me and Keaton have been doing this for a while. I've been kind of on and off of a diet phase for a long time, and it just feels good to really tune into it and really go all in. And next week is going to be a little bit different. Another wedding coming up. I'll let him tell you about that. I'm not going to tell you whose it is. It's a 50-50 shot, y'all can guess. But anyway, I'm going to try to do something with him, like a little bachelor thing on Wednesday night. Probably going to do some Top Golf, so you're probably going to see a little bit of more vlog style next week. And maybe, we can teach you guys how to stay within your calorie range and stay within your goals when you're out with friends, when you're out having fun, doing fun things, living life, having a social life, because you don't have to sacrifice your social life in order to be healthy. It's not the case. You can still do pretty good as long as you stay dialed in. Of course, next week is also 4th of July. Burgers, hot dogs, baked beans, mac and cheese, chips. We've got people coming over the 4th, and I'm sure we're going to have a big get-together and a big spread of food, and I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong, but I have to come prepared. I have to take a plan of action here and follow through with that. So yeah, keep getting after it, you know what I mean? Keep crushing it. Whatever it is you're doing in life may not even have anything to do with health. Just keep getting after it and keep crushing it, and work harder than everybody else. That's all I can say. Stay locked in, stay the course, and just keep doing your thing. See you next week.